Hi guys. I wanted to do a vlog. I've actually taped this twice because I don't know, I didn't like the way the first one came out. But I wanted to update you on a few changes that are happening. If you notice, between my couple last videos, there was a 3-week break where I didn't post anything. And that's because we had something devastating that happened in our family. And because of that devastation, I had no control over it and what was happening. I mean, control how I dealt with it, that's about it. And I decided that I was ready to move. And so my husband and I, we are moving to Hawaii. And I know, wouldn't it be great if, I kept thinking, I'm going through all this, and I was crying and everything. And I just thought, here's all my little cards I get. When I study the Bible, if I come across anything that just really speaks to me, I'll write it down. And there was one verse, I'll read it. I need my glasses. It says, "We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." And I kept thinking about how hard this was on me. And I thought, you know what? I am not crushed, I'm not in despair, and I'm definitely not destroyed by this. I can't really go into what I'm going through, but we all go through problems, you know that. I've told you about my son that had cancer, and of course my husband had cancer and a few other things, but we all go through life. It happens to everybody, and no one's immune from it. And by the way, that verse was from 2 Corinthians 4:9. And if you're going through anything, and boy, isn't that something that's uplifting? You're not crushed, and it's, I just love this last one. It says, I may be struck down, but I'm not destroyed. I love that. And so I have been online trying to get credit cleared up. My husband has somebody else that's on his credit. It's another person with the same name, and whoever put it on there, it's like, if your name was John Doe or whatever, and they put some other John Doe on there on your credit, and who's got crappy credit. Now you've got his nonsense going on with yours. So it's going to take me about $800 to get that cleared up. And what a mess. And that's human error. Someone put it on there. And trying to get my animals ready for Hawaii. And it's about $500 per animal to get them through the vet process. They have to get rabies titer. They get their blood drawn. They have to have a health check. That was all about $500 per animal. Then you still got to ship them there. And once they get there, if you think you're just going to pick your animal up at the airport, they wanted to see a vet there to confirm all this, So it's a long process. It's an expensive process. And then I'm looking at homes. And you always hear the old saying, one man's junk is another man's treasure. Well, they had the volcano erupt there. I'm going to the Big Island, by the way. And the Big Island's called the Big Island. There's really no name for it. And then there's, of course, Oahu and Maui. And there's 8 islands, I believe, but only 4 of them are inhabited. The biggest island may have the largest land mass, but it has the smallest population. One of the reasons is it's got the active volcano on it. Well, one man's tragedy is going to be my my lucky day because they got hit by the lava, went through 2 of these subdivisions over there. Went through Leilani Estates, and I believe it went through Pahoa. Pahoa was evacuated. So all these homes are like cheap for Hawaii. They're cheap, but they're expensive as far as property tax goes and insurance. But not any more than it would be for some of these other homes. Texas, whatever, it can, Texas floods, so they have higher insurance here. So every place has its problems, but anyway, so one man's, devastation is going to be somebody else's blessing. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm picking out a cheap house there that I can live in. And anyways, that 3-week break that I had in between videos is the reason I've got so much paperwork to do, and trying to get the animals ready, get the Hummer shipped over. I'm trying to think of everything I covered in my video that I deleted, but the Hummer, you can't pack it up full of stuff and have it shipped. It has to be empty, like completely empty. And I guess that's because they don't want to go through, let's say if you load it up with suitcases, they don't want to go through everything to see if you've got contraband in there, drugs, whatever. So they want the vehicle completely empty. So there goes that. I was really hoping I could, fill it up. You can't. I'm going to have my bike shipped over. And that's about it. I'm just taking the clothes. Our clothes, I'm going to sell off everything that I've got here again, which I did at the last sale of the house, the one before. And this one I'm renting, of course, so I don't have to worry about selling. And anyways, I just thought I'd give you a little update and let you know what's going on. And hopefully the next time I do a vlog, well, I don't know, still got a few months to go. I was going to say I'm on Hawaii, but I wish I was there now. I try not to think too much ahead and keep going over everything that I've got to do as far as the car, the animals, shipping everything. I'm trying not to go over too much in my mind. Getting the credit cleared up, buying a house. It's a lot, but you know what? It's taking a bad thing that happened and making it better, or making it, I feel blessed. I feel blessed by God to be able to do this, to be able to afford to do this. I'll be 57 this year. I have to think, 57, 58. Who cares after that, I'll be 57 this year. And to be able to do this at this time in my life is a blessing. But I love this verse. It's really meant a lot to me, to put things into perspective. It just speaks to my heart. And I have a couple others. I have more than a couple others. I've got all these. I've got just a few blank ones left, but I made sure that as I'm reading through, sometimes something will just speak to me. It's just perfect, it's just the right word at the right time. And so I go for it and write it down and make sure that I've got it near me, comfort me. And I don't know. Let me know if you've been to Hawaii. I've never been there, really. I was on 2 layovers there from 2 trips. And back in the day, you weren't confined to a room. If you had a 3-hour layover, they'd let you go out and go visit Hawaii. And, that's what we did. But now you're confined into a room. And if you got a 3-hour layover, you're stuck in that room and you really can't leave. And it's just to make sure that people aren't getting off and whatever. But I've been, doing my research on the homes. There's, you know, you see Hawaii, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, but when you go to look at real estate, now you see a whole new perspective on it. It's just a house. You think you're going to see this tropical paradise and this, you know, beautiful topography is right there where you live. It's not, you know, it's a house, you know. And so I'm hoping that once I get there that I can show you kind of really realistically what it's like to live there. And show you some of the places to eat and visit, and not just the beautiful oceans. I'll do that too. I kept thinking I'd love to do one of those massage videos, or, you know, an ASMR video on the ocean front. I'd love that. But yeah, we'll see. But I think I'll be doing a lot of videos. And I just wanted to give you a quick update. Tell you, you know, I can't really share what I've been through, but it's painful. It's very painful. And the Lord has still blessed me through it. And that's how I feel. But I'm just clinging. I actually had filmed this, then I came back, I went for a bike ride and came back and deleted it and thought, man, I've got to redo this. I've got to do it better. You know, I don't want to be boo-hooing all over my video. I just kept thinking about this verse. It's a good verse. It just, it's beautiful. Anyways, if it helps me, I hope it helps someone else that's going through something. Most of my life, I tell you, if something's gone bad or you know, my son's cancer, my husband's cancer, it's like there's always something. And so I hate to really cling on it too much because, oh gosh, I know everybody's got a problem. Do you ever watch us Dancing with the Stars and they hit that moment where they say, tell us a little bit about your life, and everybody tries to have the saddest story? That's not me. It's not my thing. I don't want to sit there and give somebody my sad story. So that's what it reminded me of Dancing with the Stars. They should call it Sad and Depressing Night or something on Dancing with the Stars. But anyways, I'm going to leave you with that. Hope it helps you. Hope it's, I ran over my time. Yeah, a little bit. Anyways, until next time, leave me a comment. Hope you enjoyed the video, and aloha.